Hey gamers, it's Gil, and today we're going to go over Legacy Steel and Sorcery, how to get started for you guys that are having a few issues figuring out what to do in the game. Alright guys, first things first, once we've selected our character, we're going to hit tab, we're going to go over to traits, we're going to look at our skill tree here. So these are all passives you'll gain as you level up. The warrior starts with Master of Arms, which allows you to carry a second main hand weapon. Basically, with the warrior, weapon swapping is going to be a thing. Next, we'll check out our skills. You see, depending on what weapon you have, depends on what your primary skill is or your Q ability. Whirlwind is the ability that comes with the battle axe. Attack all nearby enemies, dealing physical damage, can be channeled to increase duration, and it costs 20 rage. Quake. This is the ability that comes with the Mason Shield. Slam the ground, dealing physical damage, and snaring enemies around us. Alright. We have 3 other abilities here, or 3 other sets of abilities, and you can unlock more as you level up. The first one, your 1, is just your Iron Grip. Pretty simple. Fling your weapon or your ball and chain. Grab enemy, pull them to you, stunning them. Your 2, the generic starter one, Rampage. Become enraged and begin attacking uncontrollably. While enraged, you become unstoppable and deal bonus damage for the duration. Cost 40 rage. All right. Pretty simple there. When unstoppable, we won't be able to be stunned, snared, anything like that. Let's not worry about the extras just yet. Charge. Dash forward. Strike the first enemy in your path, dealing physical damage. Enemies pinned against a wall are briefly incapacitated. Incapacitated is not a stun. Basically, it's a stun that breaks the next time you hit them. So you can think about it like that. All right, we're going to get started with the tutorial here. See how we're supposed to play the game. Sometimes the matchmaking for the tutorial takes a few seconds, which I assume is it just loading the server, because you're not going to be in there with other players. All right, I have not played the warrior before, so this is basically me as an experienced player explaining how to get started on a new character. All right. Step 1, they've started us with junk gear. Junk gear is something your character will always get. It doesn't do a whole lot, and you don't need to hold on to it. Same with the harness, the tool belt. You'll always have these. If you die and lose your stuff, you'll always start with new junk gear. Step 1, sprinting. If you have your weapons out and sprint, it does cost stamina. You put your weapons up and sprint, it does not. So anytime you're hunting down enemies or trying to get away, you want to try and make sure your weapons are not pulled out. Step 1 is looting chests here. As you can see, we've got a fair assortment of little loot. This is your primary backpack. You can find larger backpacks to put in here to get out with more stuff. This is your hidden pouch or your junk soul pouch, hidden bag, whatever you want to call it. Anything put in this pouch will come out of the raid with you, regardless of if you die. So if there's a certain item you're really hunting for, you want to hide it in the pouch. You can mantle over stuff by pressing jump when you run up to it. The default key for weapon swap is Z. Lets us swap back and forth. So as we see here, we've got the battle axe. Basic left click attacks. Sword and shield. Or mace and shield. Different left clicks. You can hold down left click for a charge attack. Same with the battle axe. The hold left click is this little spin thing. If you notice when you're holding these, when your character turns red, that means unblockable. So a fully charged hit from the warrior is an unblockable hit. And the blue means unstoppable. So they can't stun you out of the blue portion of the attack. All right. There's a little homie here. You can see our auto attacks, especially on the warrior and the blade rogue, the sword rogue, causes stagger. So a lot of basic enemies you can just combo down. It becomes a bit trickier when you're playing the archer or the dagger rogue or the priest, as the mobs don't get staggered, so you have to make sure you're constantly dodging them. You can dodge through. Some mobs will track you, though. Be a little annoying. You see here, we just stagger this guy. That way he doesn't stop us. We are on a timer, so we have 26 minutes left to get out. No big deal for the tutorial, but we'll go through a full match in a second and show you guys what that looks like. If you see our HP pull down here in the bottom left, we have red health and we have gray health. So red health can be healed with potions, which will slowly tick up over time. Gray health lowers your maximum health until you use a bandage to remove it. So difference there is you want a mix of bandages and health potions. Health potions will give you more health back, but you have to have bandages to repair the gray health that you've lost. Oh, I forgot to show these as well. Junk weapons do not have special effects. Same with like gray armor and whatnot, but like a green weapon, you see Aftershock, your Quake reverberates after a short duration, dealing additional damage. Okay, so this one's a very generic one. Basically, our Q now has like an Aftershock attack that will do excess damage. If we can find another enemy, and we'll show you what that looks like. There is fall damage in the game, so be careful jumping off high heights. And so we have a wolf here. Yoink him in. We'll hit him with this Q. Oh, we're out of rage. Warriors generate rage by dealing damage and blocking attacks. If he's gonna attack me. Yeah. There's the Q. He died, so we didn't get to see the extra damage, but you get the gist of it. There are various resources in the game that we need to gather, such as these trees. And we'll use these to upgrade our NPCs and our lodge, which we'll talk about later after we finish the tutorial here. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Warrior Technical Attack. The Warrior class has Technical Attack when equipped with the Mace and Death Ball. So that's going to be your right click. So if you see for instance, the battle axe here, the left click is a spin. But if we hold right click, it's a big chopping slam. You cannot block with this weapon, which is why there is nothing there for that. The game has a lot of nuances that it doesn't tell you. You just have to kind of figure it out by playing. For instance, left clicks are big cleave hits. Right clicks are vertical attacks. There's a sprinting, little sprint attack. There's an evade attack. So if we dodge, then attack. We've been poisoned. They helpfully provided us with a poison antidote. Poison will continue to tick damage on you until the effect wears off. It lasts, I don't know, 20, 30 seconds. It's usually not a huge deal in the game. All right, and we run over here and we extract. Once you're in the extract, you cannot be broken out of it unless you step out of the extraction zone. See, like, this is the edge of it. Boop. So even if another player comes in here and is fighting you, then they won't break you out of extract. You can just continue to beat them up or hide from them, run from them, dodge their attacks, hold block, whatever you need to do. All right, so this is your after tutorial or after match stats. Tells you how long the duration of the match was. This is not correct. It was not 21 hours. I don't know why it says that. Players killed, creatures killed. Tells you how much XP you got. This progress is leveling up the character that you're playing, not your total account. So you see here, like I have all this stuff from my account, but I'm not using any buffs or anything. This is a completely fresh warrior. So I can show you guys how all this works. You'll start with only 2 chests, I believe, 2 and maybe a third. And as you progress the game, you'll level these up to be able to hold more stuff in your tabs. Step 1, check out your lodge. Fireplace, you have to have chopped wood burning to even upgrade anything or do anything in here. Chopped wood can either be purchased at the tavern maid or as a byproduct of crafting. So the weaponsmith, he crafts, you can see he makes, you can process wood. So like I said in the match, or in the tutorial, gathering wood is kind of a part of the game. It's part of the resources. So if you see here, we've got the 4 different rarities. I believe there's a legendary rarity too, but it is so rare that a tiny percentage of the player base is even seeing anything legendary quality. This is actually the only purple I've even found. But when you're going through the match, you'll see kind of red leaf trees that have birch on them. You'll see dark blue leaf trees that are the oak wood. And then the purple colored trees are the blue and the purple. They're very noticeable if you see them. I think the maple might actually be like a dark red, and then the ironwood's a bright purple. But we'll look at that. The same thing goes for metals. I don't know if I have any other ores. Oh, I do. But there's other ores that you can find. The only ones that I have are copper, iron, and bloodsteel. And those are all used throughout the match of upgrading stuff. These are your NPCs, and each one does basically what they say. The alchemist is where you craft potions, and you can buy potions from him. The armor, you buy armor, and you can craft armor and upgrade it. So for instance, if you wanted to upgrade these white common leather shoulders, it tells you what you need to upgrade. I'm not sure why it always says 0 out of 1 here, but clearly I have the item right here. And once you have this stuff, you just upgrade it, and it will turn into this green version here. Crafting, same with the wood. You can turn ore into iron bars, and that is also how you get rep. You get rep from purchasing from the vendors and from crafting and upgrading items from the vendors. And you can see mine are level 2 and level 3. As you progress in levels, you increase the recipes that they have. So a level 1 tailor, you won't see all this other stuff. But that's how you increase. So like if I craft linen bandages, right? I get 16 rep. So every time I craft, I get this rep. And you see right here, she's over a quarter of the way through level 3. Once she progresses, she'll show me more recipes. And she'll have more stuff for me to buy. After that, we have the tavern maid. The tavern maid sells wood. So you can buy some chopped wood to get your stuff working. And ingredients. She also lets you craft different foods, which we'll get into foods here in a second, but foods are buffs, essentially. But for that, you need to go to your lodge. Once you have your fireplace running, see, mine's got another 41 hours on it because I just throw any chopped wood into it. Oh, wait, sorry. We go back to the city here. The weaponsmith. When we craft our wood, we're processing our uncut wood here. So like I have birch wood. When I craft it, it's going to turn into a birch heartwood and then some chopped wood. And then I come to the lodge, my fireplace. I can put that wood in. It adds another hour to my duration just to keep the fireplace going. The first upgrade that we look at is the cooking pot, which allows us to cook food and give us a buff. So for instance, if I wanted to, I can cook these meals. Now for the next 3 expeditions, I'm going to have 100 extra health and 5 extra stamina because these are in my cooking pot. The bed is where you get rested XP. So once you upgrade the bed while you're offline, you will start to accrue rested XP. And whenever you go out and do an expedition, you'll get bonus XP. It's just a way to help you level when you're not online. Can't complain there. To continue to make these better, because a level 1 cooking pot will only let you cook 1 meal in it, you have to keep upgrading by finding these rare resources through your expeditions and extracting with them. Storage chest, that one's kind of a given. Every time you upgrade this, you'll get extra storage chests. Tabs, which will let you store more stuff. The crafting bench, as you upgrade it, unlocks different things for you to craft. Got your chopped wood, your birchwood chest, fine oak chest. So this just lets me craft a bigger chest to put over here in my tab. And you have the class-specific items. Warriors get the heavy spear, the war horn, and the iron fist. The priests, we're going to get these prayer cards. Rogues are going to get darts, smoke bombs, and dagger or lockpicks. And the hunters, they get explosive arrows, lotus arrows, sentinel arrows. I think they get frost arrows too. And then there's some other generic resources that you're able to craft here. You see a rough stone and a hammer makes a polished stone, because you might need that for something. The ossuary, this allows you to gain more reputation. So you offer something until it's fulfilled. These are your different offerings. Once it's fulfilled, you'll get 5% more rep. The rep is, once again, increasing your vendors, and increasing your vendors makes your life better. The enchantress, you can disenchant stuff for extra materials. Gems, you're able to socket that into gear. If you have a piece of gear that has a socket on it, such as this ring, you can put a socket in that topaz socket. The gems have to match the color of the socket. So you've got topaz, sapphire, emerald, and I believe ruby. All right, so what's all this mean all together? Well, we're going to take this character. We're level 1. We're going to go into a match, and we're going to look and see how that plays. Select over here. We go into the Greenwood. We're going to go in solo. We're going to take a look at this. Oh, another thing I failed to mention, I don't know why in the tutorial they give you a junk helmet and shoulders, but this is what a normal loadout would look like. You just have a junk chest, junk legs, a junk great axe and morning star, your heavy spear, and your potions and bandages. All right, first things first, we look around and we can start gathering some loot. Hit M to check where you are on the map. The highly contested areas are where the more geared players are going to go. So when you're just starting out, you don't really want to be contesting the ruins of the keep or the Lightfall and Cemetery. or the lair of Morthog. There's going to be geared players there trying to get stuff, and that's not what we're looking for. We're looking to gather the scraps around the edges. All right. Little skeleton here. Control click brings over the resources. And now we've got a few things. See, I'm not, like I said, I haven't played warrior before, so I'm not 100% on what all my abilities even do. We've got a little archer here. We want to dodge, make sure we don't get hit by that. He seems to have bugged out here, but this guy's giving us the business. I think that was my charge, followed by a whirlwind. Oh, we're just gonna kill this guy if he's just gonna sit here. Normally, he would continue to attack. But, you know, take freebies when you can get them. As you can see, the elites have a lot of HP. Alright, we just take this stuff. So green resources are higher tier than blue, then purple if you find those. And you see that we've been damaged here. So I'm going to pop a potion to get my red health starting to come back. And I'm going to pop a bandy to get rid of this gray health. We put up our battle axe, that way we can run without using stamina. Here is an example of a resource that we can find in the match. This is a birch tree. You can see it varies from the generic like green color of all the other trees. And over here, we can see that this is what copper looks like. Oh. Another little skeleton trying to rain on our parade. Uh-huh. So blocking an attack will fully negate the damage. If you see on our bar here, we have a limited number of blocks, which will recharge over time. But we have to make sure we don't let our blocks go all the way to 0, otherwise you get stunned, and getting stunned feels bad. Alright, so this is copper. You can see I've picked up some priest shoulders. I don't care about that, so I'm going to take the copper ore. This is birch sitting on the ground. You can grab that in case you haven't ran across a tree to cut. But here's another birch tree right here. Now we're always keeping our eyes open, head on a swivel. We don't want to get ganked by some random player coming through. We can see right over there, there's a rogue. There's a rogue just kind of waiting for us to do something. So we have two options here. We can run away, play it safe, or we could try and kill him. I think he's waiting for us to try and see what we're going to do. All right, he looks to be a sword rogue. I don't know how geared. But let's see if we can give him the business. All right, all right. Oh, he's dodging. He's dodging. Keep chopping him down. Oh, he tried to play us. Ah, you saw right there. He went orange for a second. That orange means he ran out of stamina. He runs out of stamina. He can't evade anymore. All right, first kill. See that? We've got some new loot here. Take his ear. His gear's not great. He does have a common death ball, so we can replace our battle axe with that. Or we could replace... Yeah, we could do that. I haven't used the death ball before, but we'll give it a shot. Take his loot. See, this is our hidden pouch. That's where good stuff comes out of. I want the hammer, so I'm going to make sure I have that taken. All right. He had a tool belt on him, which gives you an extra slot for consumables. We love that. Now, I don't even know what the ball and chain ability is, so we're going to take a second to figure that out. Let's just hide over here next to some loot. Flying Doom, it says. So, I don't know. I don't have any... I probably don't have enough rage to use it. We'll test it out on a mob. I think I heard one inside here, maybe? Hello. Okay, this death ball seems a little crunchy. Okay, Flying Doom through the death ball. I don't know what that was all about. Ooh. Big smash. See here, when we're checking loot, or when we're looking for loot, we're also looking for these things laying on the ground on side of shelves and stuff. So, like, I'm going to drop this wood. I don't need it. You will need wood early on, but my account doesn't need it, so I'm going to drop that. Pick up some loot here. Not enough room. That's fine. We've got a nice assortment of stuff. I probably don't need to bring out this priest weapon. Drop that so I can gather some more resources. Lily salt. Never even heard of that. Or I probably haven't, just didn't notice it. Anyways, we've got a kill. We've looted some loot. Now, how do we get out, right? We're on a timer. We've got 20 minutes to get out. The green extract is the primary extract. That's how you get out every time, and it moves around the map. Special extracts have different ways. Hold on. Let me be safe here. Special extracts have a different way to get out. So the red key, the crypt key, these are rare keys, super hard to find. I wouldn't worry about these early on. The bridge, if you're killing goblins, they can drop a specific item called a goblin lever. If you get the goblin lever, you can go down to the bridge, lower a drawbridge, and escape that way. I think there's a rogue around me. Get over here. There we go. We got him, boys. Tried to give us the old business. Oh, here we go. He's got a bigger backpack. See, we can replace his backpack with our old one, giving us a little extra space. Drop that. We'll take his daggers. He really didn't do a whole lot to us, so we're just going to use a little baby bandage. And like I was explaining before, the bridge, you take the goblin lever, you can drop that way. The coins cost 100 gold. If you find 100 gold pieces in the match, you can go pay the toll over there and leave. Or we can go up here to the wagon and get out that way. This is the normal way, so we're going to try getting out that direction, and we'll show you what that looks like. So we've killed 2 players. We've gathered some loot. Now the goal is to get out with our goodies and progressing our character that way. The good thing about the game is it's going to slowly tell you what you're kind of like what you're looking for, right? So when you're first starting, you're trying to upgrade the bed. It's going to say, hey, you need to find 2 pairs of scissors. You need to find this much cloth. You need 10 heartwood. It's going to tell you the resources you should be targeting. And that's just what you're going to kind of like go through the map and look for. So right here, right, we've got a birch tree and an oak tree right next to each other. Thought I heard something. Anyways, we want oak. Oak is a really good resource. It's used for a lot of stuff. So I'm actually going to take that. Just one. That's okay. Big part of this game is actually resource management. Or not resource, but inventory management. So see, I couldn't fit those daggers before. But I think if I reorganize a little bit here, I can figure out how to make it work. Boom. They fit. We're good to go. Now we move on. Check the map. We're going the wrong way. We'll cut through here. I'm not interested in gathering more resources. I'd like to just get out with what I have. So I'm just heading straight for the extract. How much you want to try and gather or how long you want to stay in a match is totally up to you. You don't always join in at level 1. Or I mean, at the start of the match. So with 30 minutes left, sometimes you can join halfway through. You can even die in a match, re-queue up, and somehow end up in the exact same match. When looking at other players, you can kind of tell how geared they are based on what kind of armor they're wearing. If you see people with helmets on and shoulder pads, then they're usually wearing at least a full kit. And you kind of want to watch out for that if you're an ungeared player. Now, those rogues, I wasn't sure exactly what they had on, especially the second guy since he tried to ambush me in the house. But I knew that they didn't have helmets, so they're not super geared players. Same with barbarians or warriors. It's very noticeable when they have a giant shoulder pad on or a big helmet. All right. Not too bad right now. Nothing's really trying to kill us. The big thing is if you aggro a bunch of mobs, just keep running. You can outrun any of the mobs. They'll chase you, but that's fine. Also, if you see mobs fighting in the world, it doesn't always mean there's a player. The different mob types will fight each other. So wolves and skellies, goblins and skellies. All right, we've got a rogue here. Does he want a tango? He doesn't, I don't think. He's trying to hide. Maybe he does want a tango. Oh, I bled out. So this guy was a lot geared compared to the other guys. See, he's got a helmet on and shoulder pads. So he had my number. We gave it to him, though. We gave him a good try. And I didn't have to fight there. I could have rushed to the extract and probably won. Or probably made it out. But I chose to try to take the fight. I really think we almost got him. If I was more experienced on Warrior, I would have got that guy. I'm pretty sure. All right, guys, we're going to pretend like we didn't fight that rogue. See, we ran from him. Yep, we're going to pretend like we ran from the rogue. He's going to try and get us here. That's fine. We're not going to let him bait us out of the extract. We're just going to chill in here. Extract. You can see he had a helmet. He had shoulders. He was geared. We weren't about that. We were just trying to get out with our stuff. You see, we clearly didn't fight him. We extracted, and let's see what that looks like here. As you can see, we did get 9 creature kills and 2 players kills. So we gained a bunch of XP. And this leads us to traits. Okay? So now that you're leveled up, you start to move out on the trait screen here. And these traits will start to buff you. Okay, giant strength, I'm able to pick up and throw heavy objects. 10% more health. Doubles the duration that you remain while you're down. That's more for like team play. People can get you back up. Can sprint while blocking. So I'm going to take Vitality. Now I have 10% more HP, because that could have been the difference between me killing that guy and not. We died to a poison tick. So, is what it is. We didn't get out with our resources. We lost everything we picked up. But we did bring the bone hammer home. So, it wasn't a total loss. We gained a level. We got a bone hammer. And we head back in and we can start it all over again. The last and final thing I want to cover for you guys is the quests. There is a main story quest, which to call it a main story is kind of, not really. It just gives you objectives on how to play the game. It's going to be like, hey, craft a health potion. Hey, upgrade a weapon. Extract out of the map. So on and so forth. I'm currently on reach level 20 on any character. And eventually an epic backpack, which we'll probably lose in our next one. No big deal. Second is the quest board. This has random quests that you can pick. You can hold up to 3 at a time. Gotta be a little bit careful, because see how this says collect sewing needles? It's gonna take the 3 sewing needles from you and give you the backpack. Normally not a huge issue, but for instance, I needed a pair of scissors to upgrade my bed, but I also had a quest to find a pair of scissors. I turned in the quest, and then I couldn't upgrade my bed until I found another pair of scissors. So that was a little bit annoying. But there you go. This rewards reputation, which again increases your NPCs in the city, which will give you more stuff to progress your account. And that's pretty much the whole gameplay loop. You gather these resources, gear up your character, level up, survive, and gain all kinds of stuff. All right, gamers, this has been Gil's Legacy Steel and Sorcery How to Get Started guide. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to keep up with my future content, and let me know what you thought of the video. Thank you so much for watching. Peace out, and game on.